Was mich so wirklich wütend macht, ist diese geplante Indifferenz, diese gewollte Indifferenz gegenüber dem Schicksal weißer Farmer in Südafrika. Es war auch vorher schon so mit dem Schicksal weißer Farmer in Simbabwe, dem ehemaligen Rhodesien, wo der marxistische Diktator Mugabe nicht nur gegen diese Menschengruppe hetzte, sondern auch gegen die eigenen Leute. In Südafrika wie in Simbabwe ging es schlimm zu. Und ich hatte schon, als Simbabwe dann Simbabwe wurde, war ich noch relativ jung, gesagt, das kann nicht gut ausgehen. Und es ging auch nicht gut aus. Ich war in Simbabwe das letzte Mal 2001 und Schwarze klagten damals über ihr Schicksal in einem Land, das eben durch einen marxistischen Diktator beherrscht wurde. Und ich sagte auch damals, denn die Reise ging weiter durch das ganze südliche Afrika, Südafrika wird dieses Schicksal auch ereilen, und so ist es gekommen. Es wird immer weiter gehetzt, es wird immer weiter durch Journalisten über Länder berichtet, die ihnen in dieses ganze Konzept passen und in ihr Narrativ, um bei ihrer Sprache zu bleiben. Wenn Donald Trump dann Leuten hilft, die es wirklich nötig haben und die zufällig weiß sind, das ist ja, das sagen die Roten auch immer, eine genetische Lotterie. Niemand kann etwas dafür, ob er weiß oder schwarz oder eine andere Hautfarbe hat. Wenn die dann nicht nur bedrängt, sondern ausradiert werden, dann ist das nicht in Ordnung. Aber offensichtlich gibt es dann immer wieder irgendwelche Gründe in Artikeln beim Spiegel, der Süddeutschen, der Taz, die das dann irgendwie rechtfertigen. Das muss man schon so sagen. Und deshalb empfehle ich dir mal, das folgende Interview anzuschauen mit einer weißen Südafrikanerin. Was die zu berichten hat, es ist deutsch untertitelt. Es ist wirklich erschütternd und es gibt das wieder, was auch andere Menschen dort in Südafrika erleiden mussten. Ich kann nicht sagen, viel Spaß dabei, denn das ist eine Erzählung des Grauens und des Schreckens.
Mariandra, you're a victim of farm attacks. Can you tell me your story?
Yes, in 2016, my husband was murdered in front of us during a housebreak, a farm attack, which was classified as a farm attack. We lived on a small farm northeast of Pretoria, and they shot him 6 times in front of me and my oldest daughter. We had 3 girls at the time, 6, 4, and 2 years old, and I was 8 months pregnant with our son, our 4th child. They shot him 5 times, and then my little girl put up her hand and said, "Please, you can take my piggy bank. I've got money, please don't shoot my mommy." And my husband got up for the very last time, and they shot him in the head, execution style, in front of us. So she's still traumatized. This has been 2 years now. Our little boy was born 5 days after Daddy's funeral. They didn't take anything. They only took our phone so that I couldn't phone for help. And living on a farm, I couldn't run to the neighbors. So it was quite a terrifying experience.
What do you think the motive is if they don't take any money?
Well, the one attacker said blatantly, "We're here to kill you." When we offered them everything, I mean, my husband even told them where to find all the valuables, and he just said, "We're here to kill you," and they did.
The idea is murder and not robbery.
It's not robbery's gone wrong. No, it's definitely the motive is not robbery. They would have taken stuff. I mean, we've pointed out where all the valuables were, and they left with the 2 phones. And the police actually said to me, they took the phones so that I couldn't phone for help.
The children and you were unhurt?
We were not hurt, thankfully. And we are very grateful for that, because it could have been so much worse. We are one of hundreds of stories of farm attacks, and the amount of torture that goes into these farm attacks are horrific. It's horrific. But it's also, to me, it's really unfair to be grateful that it wasn't worse. Because we were left without our breadwinner, without my children are left fatherless. We were left with nothing. We had to start from scratch, plus the trauma and the fear and we live in fear after that. That's part of the trauma, unfortunately.
How did the police respond?
The case is still ongoing. No success yet, but I've made peace that there won't be. One of the senior police officers did tell me that I should prepare myself. Only 3% of these farm murders actually end up in jail. So the chances of it really there being justice is close to none. And yeah, the police, it's a job to them. It's just work.
How do you think the attackers get the idea to go out and kill people?
I've noticed, I've followed the trends in the media as well. It is related to, you could say it's related to the hate speech comments that's been made by like the EFF, Kill the Bird. There's a song they sing, Kill the Bird, Kill the Farmer. Every time there's something like that, the farm attacks increased. How they plan it, we do know that it takes a whole group of people to plan one attack. There's people that do surveillance, there's people that get inside info, then there's the people that actually execute the attack, and the people that get them away. How they pick or how they choose who's next, I wish I knew, because then we could prevent it.
You think it's organized?
I think so, in my opinion, yes.
Could the government be doing more?
They could be doing more. There's actually a book that Adam Rich wrote, Kill the Bird, that he talks about in the book the government's complicity, media complicity to these attacks, because they are not acknowledging it as a problem at all.
A lot of people in the West and in the United States and Europe think this is all a myth, that it doesn't exist or that it's exaggerated. What do you say to them?
It really does happen. It really does happen. Unfortunately, our own government dismisses it and say it's not a problem. It's not a crisis, but it is. It happens daily. It happens to normal people. It happens to good, hard-working people. We all pay our taxes. You never see it coming. I mean, in our case, when it happened, one of my first thoughts were, this can't be happening to us. This can't be happening to us. We are normal people. We went about our normal lives. We were a normal family. And the most scary thing you can think of was standing right in front of us.
What do you tell the children now?
Well, unfortunately, my oldest daughter saw everything, so she has many questions, and scary questions. We talk about blood and bullets, and like it's normal conversation in our house, and people tell me, you can't talk to your kids like that. They saw it. The two little girls that were asleep in their rooms, they heard everything. They were thrown into this, and it's pure evil. My oldest daughter, her biggest issue now is trust in people, because she says to me, how can people be so evil? How can they do that? How can they shoot someone 6 times? How can they? And I said, well, you get bad people. I can't answer all her questions. Why was there so much blood? The blood was so much that it seeped through the floor. It happened upstairs, and we had a wooden floor. The blood seeped through the ceiling into her room below. That's how much blood there was. You don't even see these things in the movies, and it happened right in front of us. It's horrific. They are healing. She's on antidepressants and anti-anxiety medication still. We still, both me and her, still experience triggers and flashbacks and nightmares. That's part of the trauma process, to process the trauma. And it's a long road. It's a long road. I have realized 3 months ago she had a relapse in her trauma. And that's when I had to admit to myself, I can't fix her. I can't fix my child. She has been scarred for life, and I need to manage this and make sure that she sees the good side of life. So that's what I've decided very early on with the birth of my son, which I was alone when he was born. I had to get up and say, you know what? These kids deserve a good life. I need to give them a good life. This will not determine the rest of our lives. They're still small.